My Hero Academia has so many characters, with the series being Kohei Horikoshi's love letter to Western comic book stories like the ones found at Marvel and DC. To naturally emulate those universes, he'll need a huge group of memorable and unique superpowered characters to populate this world. Out of all the ones found in the manga, my personal favorite is the Class 1A Rockstar, Kyoka Jiro. Today, I'll be writing up a few reasons on why I think she's neat. To start off with a simple thing, she just has a cool design. The purple hair plus the black leather jacket combo gives off punk rocker vibes to communicate a musical background. While it may be more of a down-to-earth design than her peers, that simplicity still manages to make her stand out from a group shot well. She also might have been one of the first characters designed for the series according to an author's note, as Horikoshi doodled her first while listening to music on his way back home from a trip. While some tweaks happened from her early design to her finished one, her early design still looks familiar to her final one, to show that Horikoshi really succeeded at making an appealing character design with her. As for her significance in the story, much like the other Class 1A characters, she doesn't get a big proper introduction, just gets trickled in along with the rest of her classmates throughout the opening chapters as Midoriya does all the trials and tribulations to get into the academia. We don't get a great sense of her character till the villains invade a training joint Class 1A attends. During this section, we see the arguably two most important characters to Kyoka, the energetic Denki Kanamari and the studious Momo Yaoyorozu. The way both characters interact with her bring out very different sides within Jiro, with Denki's confident facade annoying her to bring out her cold snark, but Momo's heroic guardianship provides Jiro with comfort to latch onto, as she becomes very defensive of Momo in future scenes after this arc. In my opinion, these few character interactions make Jiro one of the more fleshed out side characters in Class 1A early on, as these details do carry on even when Jiro isn't the focus and is just palling around in the background. Though before we get to Jiro's big moment, I'd like to mention the final exam battle she had with President Mike, where she teamed up with Koji Koda. You see, while Koji can talk to animals, he is afraid of bugs, but they are fighting Mike in a forest where bugs are most common, so Jiro has to convince Koji to talk to the bugs. She puts her usual snark aside to encourage Koji through bravery and kind words. It shows that despite her shy, sometimes cold front she puts around most people, she does ultimately care about her classmates and being a good hero, something that comes to a head in the school festival arc, which is my favorite arc in the whole series. Now, a lot of that can be attributed to my favorite character getting her big moment, but there's other reasons, like a top tier antagonist and the motivations behind the festival, but we're going to focus on Jiro's role in the arc since it's her character analysis video. You see, while Kyoka loves music, when her classmates suggest doing it for the festival's programming, she declines initially because she believes it's a simple hobby that shouldn't go any further than that. She doesn't believe music and heroism can coexist in her life, which reminds me of how so many give up on their creativity once it's time to get a quote-unquote real job in the real world instead of trying to go further beyond with their hobby. She does eventually agree to sing and put on performance at the festival, but it's only when she starts to perform that she has a revelation. What's something that musicians and heroes have in common? They make people smile. Music, and by extension any of the creative arts, can impact the world for the better equally as much as heroism. And with that new lesson learned, Jiro sings her heart out to an enthusiastic audience. I've seen many scoff at the idea that battle shonen have to have slower character focus arcs, but these segments are important for us to get more attached to these characters, so when the action and inner darkness of the main story become more overt, I actually care about it because I had fun of these characters goofing off before the darkness all happened. There's other battle shonen I've read where the action is so constant, but I don't care because I feel like I barely know these people, and say what you will about My Hero Academia's failings, but as shown with even the side characters like Jiro, the story understands that seemingly the little things can have a big impact on the viewer, just like how Jiro realizes music still has a place in a world filled with heroes.